the Packers must resolve this Elgton Jenkins contract situation. This is one that's been a little quiet the past month or so. There's been some discussion, of course, with him showing up at mandatory minicamp, but then not practicing because he, doesn't want to get those fines. So it's a way that players can, show up and not get fined, but sort of still use it as that contract leverage as they're discussing the contract situation. And I think it was about late May, it came out from Rob Demovsky that Jenkins wants the Packers to make it more financially stable for him to stay at center because with Aaron Banks coming in from the Niners, Jenkins moving to center, centers make less money than guards. And even though Elgton Jenkins, it's not like he's taking a pay cut right now. It's not like, hey, Elgton, we're moving you to center. We're cutting your pay because you're now a center. They're not, they haven't done that. I don't think they would do that. He's still getting paid as a guard at center. So I think the issue is the future money. Like if he moves on from the Packers in the next few years, is a team going to want to pay him center money instead of guard money? In his mind, he's probably saying, okay, I'll play center for you, but maybe can you give me a little more cash to make this worthwhile for me willing to sort of move to a position that makes less money? I think it's reasonable from his perspective, but at the same time, if you're the Packers, I could see Gutekunst saying, well, it's not like we're paying you less money. We're paying you guard money to play center. So in a sense, you're getting a benefit here. So I'm really curious to sort of see how this is going to end up, because I would love to say odds are this goes well. Odds are they smooth things over. Odds are he's playing early in training camp, which if I had to make a educated guess, that would be my opinion on this day. But I think we can't always rule out, things not really going smoothly and some kind of fallout happening. Maybe it's a super small percent chance, but it is one to watch. And I was looking back, Josh Sitton in 2016, the Packers were trying to trade him like before the season started. Then they release him in September of that year, right before the season starts. And at that time, he had just come off a Pro Bowl season, and he was 30 years old with 1 year left on his deal. And right now, Elgton Jenkins, still a very good player. He has 2 years left on his deal, but he does turn 30 late December. So going into 2026, he'll be 30 years old. And consistently, the Packers, even with some of their best offensive linemen who were with them for a long, long time, most of them left at 29 or 30 years old. Corey Linsley, TJ Lang, Brian Bulaga, all were 29 or 30 years old when the Packers either let them go in free agency or decided to release them, like Josh Sitton. So I'm not here saying, okay, like Elgton Jenkins is going to get released. I'm just saying we have to keep in consideration that this could go in any way. I think the largest percent chance, like a very high percent chance, I would say like 80 to 95% chance everything is totally fine. The question becomes, are the Packers willing to budge when it comes to what Elgton Jenkins wants? If they say, no, we're not going to do what you want, whatever it is he wants, we don't exactly know. But if they just say no, is he going to say, okay, fine, I'll just show up? Or is he going to have an issue with that? That's where these situations, it's hard to know what could happen. But that's one where I do think Jenkins has some leverage, just because if you look at the Packers' offensive line, they do have some other options at center, but it's just super uncertain. You have Jacob Monk, 2024 fifth-round pick, and then you have Sean Ryan as well, who just haven't really played a ton of snaps like at center, barely, if any, like in the regular season, especially with Jacob Monk. And so with Jenkins, it's like, if he were just to not play, it's like, what's the Packers' option? And that's for me where I wonder, what do the Packers think about Jacob Monk? Do they think he's ready to be a center or not? I think that he could. Him or Sean Ryan, maybe they're the long-term answer when Jenkins gets a little bit older in the next couple of years. But if you are Brian Gutekunst, I just don't think it's wise to risk, not having Jenkins as center. So they need to get this situation solved, because this offensive line will be great with Jenkins. Without him, there's just a lot of uncertainty. And because of that, I do think this will get done. I just wanted to bring up the small chance, a small possibility of, what if things potentially went south. But hopefully that gets solved soon.